Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to another episode of Radio 22's Talk 22, hosted by me, your boy, Mizzle to the Jizzle. We're here to host another show. This one's a real uplifting show that's going to hopefully inspire and show everybody tricks of the trade, maybe, and some other things that we just didn't know. I know some of y'all watching right now. Uh, Thankfully, hopefully, some of y'all not watching the basketball game. I know LeBron and them going hard right now, but some of y'all, into some grown up stuff, hopefully, and can tune into this show tonight. You're wondering, Mizzle, Jizzle, what's up with this suit? We ain't used to you rocking a suit like that, so that's brand new. But at the same time, I gotta say, I'm rocking it because today, the topic of the day is money. We're trying to talk about money, y'all. I know some of y'all heard the news today that Trump decided that we're gonna freeze the talks on the checks coming through to people and everything, and some of y'all disappointed by that. Some of y'all were really hoping. Coronavirus hit, and uh, it took a lot of people back. A lot of y'all hurting with your businesses. A lot of y'all hurting with your money. A lot of y'all hurting in a lot of different situations. As we know, the governor said today that businesses had to go down to 25% capacity. That also hurts. So uh, both sides of the aisle, if you're Democrat, Republican, don't really matter. To me, money is money, and we all feel it when it hurts. So uh, that's what we're here today. Uh, and with me on the line, I got the conversations that you want to talk about, and we bring it to you with nothing but the real ones again. So I got a huge just bangers when it comes to people who know about money right now. And we bringing them to straight live out of the Milwaukee area. We got my homie, my money man, Marvin. Can you please say hello to the people?
Hey, hi everybody. Good evening. Glad to be here. Thank you for the opportunity to share a little
Can you explain to
you
them
know,
what you do?
well, basically pretty much what we do, we help people to to plan to become properly protected, debt free and financially independent, and just sharing some financial concepts so we can help our community to get ahead when it comes to the money game.
Okay. Well, we thank you for joining the show, Marvin. Also, out of the Milwaukee area, we got a husband and wife team, y'all. We got Lecha and Gino here from the GNL team. Can you say hello to the people?
How's it going? How's it going, everyone?
Hi, good evening.
It's a pleasure to be here on this show.
Yes.
Super excited.
Thank you
Well,
for having us.
thank you for coming to the show. Can you explain to the people what you guys' area of business and expertise is in?
I will let the queen speak.
So like you said, Mizzo, we are a husband and wife team, and really, we just we help everyone really buy, sell, invest in real estate. So real estate is one of those things that you just have so many options, and we love just being able to be of a service to, and really help our clients understand all of those options.
Oh, well, we appreciate you for coming to the show as well, you guys. Known these two for a very long time as well, so I appreciate them coming through. Also, straight out of the Waukesha area, I got the homie Kurt. Kurt, please let the people know, say hello to the people and let them know what your area expertise is in.
Well, good evening, everybody, and thank you so much for having me on the show and this opportunity. I hope my voice finds everyone safe and healthy and happy. I work for a company called Midwest Insurance Group. We primarily specialize in commercial, personal, and group benefits. And my main goal, my main function as an insurance agent, as an independent insurance agent, is to basically help people assess their needs, offer a variety of different insurance products, all with their overall risk management in mind.
Well, thank you, Kurt, for joining the show as well. Uh, Man, like I said, these are some people that know. When I say they know, they know. So I appreciate them all for coming to join the program today. We're gonna start off with the first question. I'm gonna start off with you, Marvin. I want to know, as a financial planner, that you are, what is the best way to maintain income for families at this time? You know, a lot of people have been hit with a lot of hurt from people losing their jobs, COVID taking away some of their businesses, and people are really looking for ways to put money to feed their families at this time. And what would you suggest as some of the best ways?
Well, that's a great question. Honestly, it's having a plan. That's the main goal. The main goal is having a plan. I know this is a tough situation right now, but I mean, actually, it just the life has test us again. Back in the days, when the 9/11 happened, I mean, it's basically like we're going to kindergarten. I mean, that was a live test. We failed the test because we didn't have a plan. So 2008 real estate market and hit us, and we didn't have a plan. So we failed the test again. And now COVID shows up and we failed the test again because we didn't have a plan. So basically it's just having a plan is the main goal. And if anybody would like to about the money, it's just live below your means. Pay yourself first. Like Kurt is an insurance. I mean, there's so much opportunity in this industry. Also, learn a skill. Gio, I know Gio went to school with my kids. I mean, learn a skill. These times right now is the most, even if it's a tough time, but this is what happened in the Asian culture. The same thing for crisis. It's the same definition for opportunities. This is the right time. Even if we're going to a crisis, this is an opportunity for us to make money. Either way, to serve a service to anybody in our community. There's many ways to earn an income today. There's many ways. We didn't have YouTube in the past. People making money in YouTube. This is the right time. This is the perfect time for anybody to become an entrepreneur and earn an income and a part-time basics.
Yeah, I think I agree with that, Marvin. It seems like it's really all about the hustle, where doors may look like they shut. You just got to find a window is what it sounds like to me to creep up in. Gino and Licha, I'm gonna start off with you, Gino. I want to know the same question I'm going to ask you is during this time, of COVID and everything, we see that a lot of people losing their income and different things in the housing market as well. What is the best way? Is there ways that you see to be able to sustain income, maybe even with your field?
Well, I definitely think, Marvin nailed it. Live below your means. When you think about people losing their jobs, I mean, this is some serious stuff. It's not just, it's not just a flu. It's not just, it's just a crisis, and I think, when Marvin said, just living below your means, there's stuff that even my, us as a couple, there's things that we subscribe to on a monthly basis. So, getting rid of those different things that you don't really need. It's not a necessity right now. You don't need a Netflix account right now. You don't need a Disney Plus or Hulu or even an ESPN account right now. It's not a life or death thing. You know what I'm saying? So I think just living below your means and just having like a saving, just being smart about your money and investing that money on something that's going to make you more of that, multiply that. And just live below your means for sure.
Right. Licha, you have anything to add to that? As far as when we look at the housing market, a lot of creditors are looking at it and they're looking at people trying to get the best rates, and you have to have A1 credit these days. Right. So my question to you is the same question. What's the best way to be able to maintain income so that you are able to afford housing and such in your industry?
Yeah, so great question. I like everything that Marvin and Gino said about, living below your means. And, in the real estate world, I do feel like, same kind of piggybacking off of what Marvin said, wherever, even though we are going through a crisis, I feel like a lot of people focus so much on the problem and not the solution. So, for example, kind of like you said, looking into ways of making money, or figuring out different income sources. Because just as we see a lot of unemployment going on, I do feel like we also see a lot of companies who are desperate to hire really good talent, really good sustainable employees that will want to stay there longer. And I mean, really, real estate, having a lot of people or a lot of investors have, or not necessarily investors, but a lot of people who maybe bought a first home already, maybe now they see the interest rate being so low. So now it may make sense to make an investment if you have the funds, maybe like in a multifamily that can generate you, some of that residual income, so that when another times like this comes, housing is something that we're going to need all the time, So I do feel like in those aspects, real estate is one of those investments where you can just never go wrong. You're always going to have something there.
Yeah, it might be a great time to refinance as well, huh?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we're seeing people who even 2-3 years ago, they cut their interest rate in half or even less sometimes. Like, it's crazy. So yeah, interest rates have definitely been a huge help.
Right. See, so like we said, when there's maybe a door shut, you might want to go around, look at that window, or go through the back door, or find another way. Don't just give up.
Right.
There's other ways. So, Kurt, I want to see if you have anything to address with the same question here. As far as maintaining income, a lot of people are looking at it and they're like, wow, man, I just don't have the funds like I used to. I had a good paying job and now they furloughed me and they let me go or whatever, or my business crashed. And I don't have the ways to just spend like I used to, and I want to buy these insurances and these different things that you're talking about, but I just don't have the funds, What is some of the best options that you can give people at this time?
Yeah, I got a couple thoughts on it, and I thought the first two that talked on the subject did an excellent job, and I agree with everything that they said. The three main points that I'm going to make, and I'm going to make it really fast here. Number one is going to be budget. You have to have a budget. You have to stick to your budget. You have to understand what your budget is, and you have to make that budget work for you. And that's incredibly hard if you've been furloughed or if you got laid off. But that's where the pre-plan comes into play, and hopefully a lot of the families had an opportunity to do that. My second one is going to be passion. We've had more time for ourselves over this last 6 months with everything being shut down, and I just encourage people to take a really good look. Like, we've had the time. Let's take a good look at who we are and what we're doing and what we want to be, and let's start applying ourselves towards what your dream job is, or what your dream career is, or what makes you happy. And if you chase something that's going to make you happy and you can make money off of it, that's a really good situation for you. And my third point is going to be, don't be scared to ask for help. That's what we all do in this profession, is we help other people get to where they need to be. Marvin is probably very excellent at setting up those plans and making sure you have a nest egg to fall back on and a retirement plan. And the GNL team here, that's the help I'm looking for. I want a new house. Well, let's get the best rates and let's negotiate the best prices. Something that I do, you can call me any day. We can shop your rates any day to see if we can save you money. And every single dollar counts, especially in these hard times. But above and beyond that, just stick to your budget, have some sort of plan, try to follow your passion, and don't be afraid to ask for help, because that's what a lot of people do with their lives. That's what we're here to do, is help.
No doubt. The great words of TLC, you can't be too proud to beg. Right now is the time to ask when you need help, because at times we all do need help. But okay, I'm going to go on to the next question. The next question I want to ask is, how can I protect my credit score. I guess I'm gonna start off with our real estate team here. Gino and Leisha. I wanna start with you, Leisha. What are good ways, the way we're looking at it, a lot of people are just hurt right now and don't have the ways to pay a lot of these bills like they used to. What are some good things I can do to help protect my credit score at this time?
So that's a definitely great question. I think, credit score is one of those things that a lot of people, well, I mean, we never get taught about it. So I feel like a lot of people mess up their credit before they even build any credit. So right now during these times, I mean, having kind of like we said before, having a plan in place, but mainly our key point is always going to be if you do have, credit cards and things like that, when your income gets cut, I feel like everyone relies then on those, or a lot of times people rely on those so much that when times get tough, they just start going out the roof. So usually what everyone usually recommends is keeping your credit cards balances under like a 10%. I mean, at least a 10%, but under 30% is going to be key, because that's still going to help you build the credit. It's still going to help your credit look good and see that you're using it wisely. But when you start, just putting so much on your credit, then, I mean, your credit score is just, especially with credit cards, I mean, that's the easiest way to mess your credit score up. So I would say maintaining your credit card usage at a low, it's going to be key.
Yeah, a lot of us do, when we get in that crunch, we got to put that card out there. Some of y'all really think y'all balling and put that black card out there, but at the same time, some of y'all ain't really balling like that, So when times just get tough, you got to do what you got to do, but at the same time, be smart with it, right? So I'm gonna ask Gino at this time if you can also address that same question, as far as how do I protect my credit score at this time?
Yeah, I mean, Licha pretty much nailed it. Just keeping your credit card usage under 30% is going to be key. You're starting to build credit history, and it's positive credit history. A lot of people think just going maxing out your credit card and just making those payments on time. That just making those payments, you're showing that you aren't able to manage that credit amount that they're giving you, and you're maximizing right away. So you want to be able to create some positive positive history with the credit, with your credit. And a lot of people don't know too, just being able to monitor your credit. There's apps like Credit Karma. Everyone has heard of it. Just a simple check-in every time, just making sure that there's nothing that you don't know that people are running any inquiries on your credit, anything of that nature. So just being able to monitor your credit. And there's companies out there that that offer some type of monitoring services and stuff like that, and identity theft and different things of that nature that'll help protect your credit.
Okay, I appreciate that. Marvin, I'm gonna give you an opportunity to answer the same question. You, as a financial planner, the way we look at it, some of us, we got student loans out there. We still trying to pay for the whip. You got your car. You got the cable, you got the your house note. I mean, you got a lot of different things that you might be trying to put on the table. Of course, you got to take out your lady every once in a while, or she ain't gonna have her too long.
That's
right. So, like, how can we protect this credit score?
I mean, they Lisha and Gio hit it. You got to protect yourself, man. We protect everything, cars, TV, cell phones. I mean, and when it comes to the credit, I am the type of guy that I told people, this is what happened. The average credit card in America has at least $16,000 in credit card debt. The average household in America has $16,000 in credit card debt. And wow. and another thing that I wanted to address is what Kurt said. Crush your ego, ask questions. That's what we hear. We yes, we want to make money. Be honest, we want to make money. we want to make money. But I mean, we just found in the different areas that we found a need in our society. And since we found a need in our society, we want to fulfill it. And because we, the results are fulfilling that need, eventually we're going to make some profit. But I mean, the main thing is our people. We want to help. We want to offer our service, and we want to bring knowledge. But I mean, that's one of the things, people need to budget. They need to understand the compounding interest against you when you have some credit card debt. You see what I'm saying? Because I mean, that's interest that is every day. That's consumer debt every day. If if you're not having investment outside, IRA or 401k, the same way this interest is working against you. So I mean, if you can just like Lisha and Gio says, monitor your debt, your credit. If you can keep just one credit card, not 9, and just we have so much time in home right now. This is a time that you stop being an emotional consumer, and whatever you see on TV, just buy it. No, this is the time for saving, accumulating wealth, and when the opportunity comes, then you make your move. But right now, grab a book, learn about something that you, like Kurt said, you found passion or something, something that you caught your interest. Then you might find passion on doing it. I'm doing what I'm doing not because I went to college to learn it. I started as a client, and I found passion. But I mean, yeah, just keep it as small as you can. The lowest credit card, and protect your credit, because I mean, if you want to make big purchases, then you need to keep it clean.
Yeah, true that. We see that the older you get, the more important that is. And yeah, we definitely want to conserve, but at the same time, you got to stock up on some things. We see you got to stock up on toilet paper before there's another quarantine. I mean, it is what it is. So, all right. I want to go to you, Kurt. I'm gonna ask you a different question though. I want to ask, how do I maintain my life and health insurance if I've been furloughed by my employer? Like, how do I maintain these things when I'm getting hit by furloughs and layoffs and everything else?
It's a really good question, and I'm not sure that I'm the man that has the exact answer for that, but I have some ideas, and I'd like to share them with you. There's lots of different programs, and a lot of them are government funded. A lot of them are done through your ex-employer, even though you may be furloughed or laid off. But they're going to give you an opportunity to hold on to your health insurance. They're going to give you plans and grants and different things that you may be able to apply for and qualify for to help you get through these tough times at this time. I personally, I don't deal with health insurance specifically. It's the one area of insurance that I stay away from, mainly because it changes every single day, and I can't even keep up. So I refer those to the guys that devote their entire life to it. With group benefits at our company, it's a little bit different. Things don't change that rapidly, but I know for a fact, if anybody gets laid off at any of the companies that we insure, all of those health benefits, all of those life benefits, those are available to you, even though you don't work there. They can't just take those away because you lost your job.
Really?
So it's important to speak to your HR department. It's important to speak to the owner, have them give you the details on how to continue that insurance. And of course, with your reduced salary, it's going to be hard to make those premium payments. But there's a big difference between having health insurance and not having health insurance when you desperately need it. And I just encourage you to ask as many questions and get as much information as you can if you are in that situation.
Okay, appreciate those tips. Many of you guys didn't know that. If you heard what he said, even if you're laid off your job, you can possibly still reach out and get those same insurances from those insurance providers. So,
or a variation of them, yes.
Yeah. So definitely reach out to your insurance people and learn more about that. See, some things they don't tell us about those things in the hood, but they're there for you. Uh, Marvin, I'm gonna ask you the same question as a financial advisor. What are some things that you can tell us about people who have been furloughed and whatnot and are really struggling at this time to just pay off things like insurances and whatnot, far as from their employers?
Well, I mean, in our cases, uh, no matter what, people needs to still paying the mortgage. People needs to pay their rent. People still need to bring food to the house. I mean, honestly, the way to right now, the most uh, you know, the most difficult choice or let's say decision that my people think, okay, my insurance is, I don't need it right now. There's other things that are more important. But I mean, people don't understand that in my case, life insurance is income protection. You're protecting your income. Whatever you have, that's the only thing that's guaranteed that if anything happened to you, you're in control. There's gonna be some left for your loved ones. But I mean, here we go again. You have to make a decision. Either Netflix, like Gio says at the beginning, you keep your Netflix. You can just cut your cell phone package. You could just do so many things. But I mean, since there's priorities, you got to keep it as they are, priorities on top of your list. That's pretty much what can share about that.
Okay. All right. I want to go to the GL team. I want to ask them, with everything happening with this COVID time and everything that we're dealing with at this time, some people really are in a bind and like are really looking for different ways to come up and make some money. And we do know that the housing market, houses are selling, and they're selling for a pretty big bank right now. So I guess my question to you is, I'm gonna start with you, Licha. Is selling my house a good option if times are getting tough at this time?
Great question. So selling a home can be a very, very emotional process either way. It can be, times get tough and it can be a very sad moment. Or it can be, I'm looking to do an upgrade, or I'm looking to just downsize, and it can be an exciting moment. Regardless of where the situation is, it really, like you said, if times are tough, one of the things that we are seeing is that a lot of people who maybe are empty nesters, or who maybe just have a bigger house than they really need, if times get tough, then it probably is a good time for you to sell, where you can, sell for top dollar and, just use some of that equity that you had and invest it into your new home, where now your mortgage might be, much less than what you were already paying. And now you even have a little bit of extra cash maybe to kind of invest into something else, like maybe like an investment property that will generate you some income versus living off of just one income, so that can be a good way. Also, we did see early on in the year, we did see where a lot of the banks had a lot of things that they options that they offered people, where maybe they can pay their mortgages a little bit later, or give them a little bit of a break on their mortgage. So we are possibly anticipating that a lot of people who made those arrangements, now it's time for them to make those payments, and maybe they just can't afford them anymore. So it may be also in those situations, it may also be a good time where maybe you know that you can't make those payments, and same thing, just accommodate to maybe something that is going to help you keep those expenses low until you're able to really get back on your feet. And who knows, in the future you might be able to buy something even bigger than when you already have. But it really depends on what's going on right now and what you need to do right now.
All right. Gino, I'm gonna ask you the same question. The way we're looking at it, a lot of times people are just in a bind right now because their money's not where it was at one time. Some of us had some really good jobs, and with the way that businesses just went down, I mean, we don't want to see the housing market really take a hit like it did a few years back, where it just totally crashed because people couldn't afford paying some of that. Is this a good time to just pack up and move down south?
Well, in my case, I wish I could just go to Florida because it's getting cold down here, up here in Wisconsin. So, but no, I definitely think like Licha said, it depends on the financial experience that you're going through right now. I know the housing market. I mean, it's still booming. It's still hot. For people who are homeowners, it's still a great time for them to sell their property, just because there's a huge buyer demand. There's a lot of buyers out there because interest rates are still super low. So and there's not a lot of inventory out there. So right now is the best time to get the most for that property that you own. So if you're looking to downsize, because you lost your job, or or your financials got hit a certain way, and you can no longer afford that payment that you already had. So maybe downsizing is a good option for that. But like Licha said, it all depends on that financial situation that you're going through right now, and seeing waiting on your options. See if selling your property right now is the best way to go, or and I know there's so many different things that from just people losing their jobs, but you are working from home. There's so many different opportunities that it's your time now. You're free to do whatever you want. Might as well be smart about it and do something that's going to make you money. Do something that's going to be able to help you on the financial side of things. I don't know about you, but I've talked to so many people that are going into the self-employment route, where they're starting to go into the entrepreneur route, where they're opening businesses. There's people that are starting to sell face masks, and they're making some type of profit to maintain income that way. There's just so many different ways to go about it, but it all depends on what you're going through right now financially.
Man, that's the realest words I've heard for a while. Yeah. It's a hustler's mentality, as we will keep talking about. You just can't just see one lane closed. You got to find another lane to still run the race. Am I wrong, Marvin? How that works?
I hear you.
Yeah. Can you speak a little bit about what you think, far as like people who see like one lane close on them, and they just are looking for other alternatives and ways to get money?
I mean, it's just it's just being open-minded, man. Open-minded and willing to learn, and just reinvent yourself. Just reinventing yourself. Find a passion. Find something where you feel happy. And just be creative. I mean, I'm down here, and I'm just like, today I was just looking at some properties, and I just saw another opportunity. Honestly, where we're trying to relocate, there's not a Chuck E. Cheese. You see what I'm saying? I'm not into that type of business, but I'm saying, okay, there's a lot of kids, a lot of school, a lot of elementary school, a lot of what it's for kids. There's only one Sky Zone. There's no Chuck E. Cheese. There's no Monkey Joe's. See, I'm, and that's not my field, but I'm looking ahead. I'm not afraid to lose, and I'm not afraid to try something different. But you got to keep your eyes open. You got to keep your ears on the ground for opportunities, and that's what people just being. Remember, we've been conditioned that that we just got to work a job. We just got to find Alicia. We got to find a Gino. We got to find a Kurt. We got to find a Marvin that can recondition our mentality, our mindset, that says, you know what, you can do it. You can learn. If you watch me couple times, you can learn this skill, and you can bring the bread to your house. Simple. Just learn something. You don't have to say no. Just learn it, and then try it. Simple.
And that's real talk. A lot of us see that even in the music industry. I mean, you reach out for people to do different recordings, and you may reach out for different engineers to do your music or whatnot. I mean, a lot of these things, if you learn some of these skills, you can cut out some of the middlemen, and you know, it sets you that much farther. So, Kurt, I want to bring you into the conversation, and I want to ask, what insurance should I hold best right now to protect my family through this whole crisis of COVID-19?
That's well, I sell almost every insurance, so my answer is going to be all of them. Um, no, of course I'm kidding. I think the traditional ones that most people know about are still the most important. You got your home, you need to have home insurance. If you're going to drive a car, you're going to need auto insurance. If you have a tremendous amount of assets and you want to risk yourself from a huge financial loss, you're going to want to add an umbrella to those policies. If you have a business, you're going to need general liability. What comes along with both your home and your auto? It's that general liability. It's one of the most important pieces of the insurance puzzle. And in my mind, it's greatly overlooked. One accident, everything that all three of us do here, financial planner, real estate, insurance, one mistake, one accident can take everything that we worked for away. And if you don't have an insurance policy to back you up on that, you're looking at losing your house. You're looking at losing your business. You're looking at claiming bankruptcy. The idea of insurance is, it's very simple. You're essentially, you're protecting against your risks from something that is sudden and unexpected. The hardest insurance to get is the insurance when you need it. If you need life insurance, you probably don't qualify for it, if you know what I'm saying. So it's very important to me to open people's eyes to, yes, this is an extra bill. This is something that, hey, push comes to shove, I don't have to pay this bill. I don't have to have it. But what if the worst day of your life is the next day and you don't have those protections? You're looking at a lot worse problems than just a premium payment to help you protect your risks, the unexpected, and everything else that goes along with it.
Yeah, most definitely. A lot of us can definitely relate with that because, it was all good just a week ago. Earlier this year, we were all doing different stuff, and now we look, COVID-19 hit, and a lot of us had to cancel vacations. A lot of us canceling weddings and different events like that, concerts that you wanted to go to, football game, basketball games, any type of sports events. The world just flipped on its head, did it not? We just seen now, even the president of the United States even caught COVID. So, things can flip just like that. So I definitely agree with you that you gotta kind of prepare for the unexpected. Is basically what you're stating. Is that not right, Kurt?
That's exactly that's what insurance is, and that's the type of products that I sell. We have no idea what type of loss is going to be around the corner. You educate yourself. You ask for help. You get a professional that knows what they're talking about in whatever realm that you're looking to investigate, and you use their advice and their expertise to make a plan for yourself to make sure that even on your worst day, that financial loss isn't going to be a burden on you on top of everything else.
Yeah. Okay. Marvin, I want to also get your input on that as well, because I know you dabble with the insurance as well. When it comes to things like life insurance and such as like what Kurt was speaking on, how valuable are those to some of us who grew up maybe in the hood? We ain't really thinking about stuff like life insurance and stuff like that. But like, should we?
Hey, all the time before you go to bed, this is one of the things you need to need to understand and need to be thinking about what's gonna happen. It doesn't have to change anything. If you wake up every morning to provide for your family, what's the difference when you're not here? You need to protect. You need to provide for them too, right? So Kurt, we're in America. Everything here is a lawsuit.
Yeah.
If you gotta, everything here is a lawsuit. But if you protect it, you don't have to worry about. So I mean, and that's what it is, man. We just got to protect your assets. That's it. We protect our cell phone. Cell phone doesn't bring, unless you're Gio or Alicia and I, that we make money with our phones. Then but I mean, we got to protect it, and we protect it. So I mean, the same way we protect our phones, our TV, we have to protect our income, and we have to protect our bodies with health insurance. But the thing is, this is the mistake that some of our people. I'm not talking about our culture, Hispanic or in the African American culture, in the Hispanic or Latino community, we cut in corners. A lot of people cutting corners. They rather have their big wheels and big trucks, big rims, no auto insurance, no home insurance, no life insurance. They're cutting corners.
They're looking clean,
and like
though.
we said. So I mean, we gotta protect we gotta protect everything, man. And you never know. You never know. You here today, and tomorrow you might not be here. So I mean, why, But when you find somebody that it's an educator, somebody that's teaching you from the heart, that you can discern that these people's trying to, teach you. It's not only about the money. Then hey, just explain the product. What explain the product. Explain why they need it, and if it makes sense for them, hey, this is what I can do with you. But I mean, at least bring that education to our folks.
And that's why I'm glad all of us are here today, because there's so much of this conversation. I feel like only some of us feel like we have insight on. Only some of us feel like we can maybe buy houses. Only some of us feel like we can buy insurances. Only some of us feel like life insurance and other things of the future of financial planning is even having to deal with us. But I feel like it has to deal with everybody. Am I wrong, Marvin?
Yeah, I mean, it's sometimes this is what I tell people. Don't let people impress you, man. Don't let people impress you with the big cars and the big houses. The only people that I allow them to impress me, those folks on Lakeshore Drive. And I use this illustration all the time, because I mean, on Lakeshore Drive, we from Milwaukee, we seen from Capitol to Layton Avenue only beautiful homes. We never seen a bank on Lakeshore Drive. But if we stop on 27 in Oklahoma all the way down to Layton, we see at least 8 banks. So I mean, the only difference from those people and our people is because they have the right information, and we don't.
Yeah.
They don't go to the banks. They sit down with people like me. So
Right.
what I'm trying to teach our people is, what, the traditional banking institution have no desire to teach you how to become debt free and financial independence. So I mean, and we go to Lakeshore Drive and we saw beautiful homes. We can be like them. Just be
Yeah.
disciplined, and big discipline and consistent. That's it.
Most definitely. There's money out there for everybody of all walks and natures. Just like you said, you just got to be disciplined enough to go and apply yourself to learn more to get it, right?
That's right.
So, all right, I'm going to move on to the next question. I want to ask, I guess I'm going to go to Kurt. I want to ask, is this the right time to make a big purchase? Do you believe?
Aren't you guys getting sick of my voice yet? Big purchase. I think it comes down to our first question. What does my budget look like? What does my financial situation look like? Do I need that big purchase? I could also wrap in the credit question as well. If you guys want to know the answers to all the questions that we've talked about already, do the opposite of everything I did in college, because you'll be way more successful. My biggest gripe is that they don't have personal finance classes in high school. We're learning how to make bun cakes and stuff, but they're not teaching us how to balance a checkbook. They're not teaching us how to do our taxes, how to
True.
find the right insurance products. It's just
Very true.
it's difficult and it's frustrating. Big purchases are up to each individual, in my opinion. I mean, take one look at me. I'm not going to be the guy that goes out and buys the brand new Yeezys, if you know what I'm saying. But part of that is because by the time I save up the money to afford them, dude, Yeezy 3s are going to be out already. Then I'm going to look like a chump. So I mean, let's take that all in context. I'm not throwing a credit card down for something that I want, no matter how badly I want it. It's got to be more of a need if I'm going to make a big purchase than just strictly a want. And that's up to each own individual by themselves, their family's budget. You take that into account. If it makes sense for you and it's something that you need, or if you've been hustling hard, you've been making the extra phone calls, you've been doing the extra hours, and you want to reward yourself, that's part of life, and you should do that. But specifically with the COVID right now, with people getting crushed on jobs, with people getting crushed in their savings accounts and their health accounts, it's probably a good time just to pump the brakes a little bit, kind of take a look at what you have now, what you want your future to be like. And it just, do I need that big screen TV? Do I need the new car? Do I need, to upgrade a house? Unless you're working with G&L team, then definitely you need that house. But it's all, I mean, that's a personal discipline that you have to teach yourself. And although you may not have had it in the past, I certainly didn't have it in the past. It's something that I've learned over time, and it's something you could feel really proud about once you wrap your head around it and say, hey, I know where I'm at. I know where I want to be. What the Joneses next door have doesn't mean nothing to me. They're not in my shoes. They don't walk a step in my life. They can have their fancy cars and stuff. We have no idea what their situation is. I can only control my own. And that's the decisions that I try to base all of my decisions off of.
True. I mean, trying to keep up with the Joneses is going to not lead you down the right path, and I truly agree with that. Gino and Alicia, want to give you an opportunity to weigh in on that same question. Actually, I'm going to go with you first, Gino, this time. Same question. When it comes to making big purchases, such as a house, is this really the right time, you feel, to go ahead and make that move and purchase things like houses?
Well, that, like Kurt said, everything goes back to that first question, budget. Financially, do you have the savings in order to make a purchase, a down payment? This is not just a car that you can get or a TV that you can get. Definitely don't buy some Yeezys right now. And right now we're living in some times where I don't know if you guys saw the new burger that Travis Scott released on McDonald's, and everyone's going crazy and buying the sold out and crazy. Why? We first of all, it's not a healthy choice. But financially, are you able to afford a home right now? I know it just goes back to that first question. Interest rates are still super low. So if financially you have the savings, you're being smart about your money. And there's actually a good book that actually Alicia read, and she actually shared with me. Was it Think Like a Millionaire or no, like Millionaire Mind?
It's like Secrets of a Millionaire
Secrets
Mind.
of a Millionaire Mind. I suggest everyone reads that book. It mind blown. The minute I read it, it's just, you just got to be smart about your money. If you want something, open up a savings account for it. If you want a new house, open up a savings account for it. Get rid of all the things that you don't need right now. That your Netflix, believe me, those monthly fees add up, and you can use that towards a down payment on the house. Maintaining, all the different topics that we discussed today. Your credit score. Just being able to monitor your credit score, keeping your credit usage under 30%, and just having positive credit score. All those different things it all builds together, and it merges together into buying a home. So if you have everything aligned, everything aligns as far as your credit, your financials, you got the budget, you got the savings, you already have insurance in place. then I believe then you are ready to go ahead and move forward with purchasing a home. You know, there's still, like Licha said earlier, there's different ways to invest in real estate. You know, maybe the single family route is not the best option for you right now financially. Maybe going the multifamily route where you're able to rent out a unit and live, you know, rent out both units, and you're able to create some passive income that way. There's different ways to go about it for sure.
Okay. Licha, you have anything to add to that as well?
Well,
Making big purchases?
yeah, well, I feel like Gino touched on a lot of the points that I would have touched on, but I think overall it really depends on kind of like some of the other guys said, on where you're standing on a budget and financially. I think anytime that it comes to making a big purchase, or at least one of the things that I usually think about is this going to be an asset, or is it going to be a liability? And if you're choosing for it to be a liability, then are you in a position to keep maintaining that liability? Or is this maybe an asset? So kind of like Gino said, where maybe you're someone that's renting and you're paying maybe $1,500 a month, and maybe you can set up a little account, and you really want to become a homeowner. There is tons of programs out there for first-time home buyers, grants, and so many other things that sometimes you might not even need to invest so much money into it. But maybe things like maybe you are investing into like a multifamily, but in return now maybe you're paying $1,500 a month, and now you're going to be paying $750 a month being on a mortgage. So in that aspect, yeah, it was a big purchase, but it's something that I was able to get something positive in return. Or once your mortgage is paid off, that is something that you can always be building some residual income from, versus a liability like a big car. I'm not a big fan of buying big fancy things. I feel like when it comes to cars, I can fall in love with a car, but then I feel like I'm the type of person that just gets so bored of it within like the next week or so, that I'm like, all right, now I want something better, now I want something. And I feel like a lot of people kind of go through that. So when you really know how to discipline yourself, and like Gino said, there's nothing wrong with getting something nice, but at the same time, set up your little play account that's going to be designated for that. This is my money. This is my money for bills. This is my money for investments. This is my money for other things. That way, you're able to really just set goals for yourself and feel like you are rewarding yourself without feeling like you're breaking the bank when you do make a purchase.
And she is smart, Gino. You made the right move. And
she's the queen. I'm telling you.
All right. So, Kurt, I want to see if you have anything to add to that. You got to unmute your mic. Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah. All right. Sorry about that. So something that I thought of as she was speaking so eloquently about it is, we talked about credit card debt before, and that's a lot of the ways that people accumulate their stuff.
Right.
They want it right now. They're okay with paying an interest rate. Just read a book, educate yourself, understand what interest rates are and what they do to you. Because let's say it is a car. You want that car. You love that car. It is your baby. This is the car you're going to buy. And they stick you with an 8.5% interest rate. Look at what that payment actually is at the end of the time that you pay that off. Are you prepared to pay tens of thousands of dollars more than what the actual car costs just because you're putting it on a credit card or because you're financing it? The same with your clothes, the same with your shoes, the same with anything that you buy. You really need that bottle of wine tonight? If you're going to use a credit card, that $12 bottle of wine you're picking up from the third top shelf because you're feeling fancy, well, that $12 wine is going to cost you $30 by the time you pay it off. That doesn't make any sense. So consider your wants, consider your needs, make a priority, stick to your budget. That's going to be your answer to, do I need this big purchase at this time?
Guess I got to stay away from that McLaren I've been eyeing up. But Marvin, I want to ask you the same question. When it comes to big purchases, is this really the time to do that? Or, how would you suggest about going about, those of us who have ambitions of buying that boat or buying that, new house or what have you at this time?
Everybody is different. everybody has placed themselves in a position where they at right now. Some of the people that wants to do the big purchases and they don't need it. Well, then if you're saving the money and you earning interest, that's a reward. But if you rather pay the $12 bottle of wine with a credit card, then you're paying a penalty by choosing to pay that water bottle with the credit card. I mean, but and talking about the big purchases, I mean, everybody put themselves in a position where they can afford to do what they do. I mean, if you have been saving money for a long period of time and you've been disciplined with your 3 to 6 month emergency fund, and you're looking to buy a home, in the next 5 years, let's say from 2015 to now, well, then you have a short-term investment that was earning 4 to 6% rate of return. So now you put yourself in a position where you can say, you know what, I've been saving for the last 5 years. Now is the lowest interest rate in history. Now is the time for me to buy. Even if you're paying a little bit more, but you put yourself in a position to purchase. But if you've been undisciplined with your money right now, I'm sorry, you're not ready for it. Maybe wait a little bit more, and then put a plan together where you can save enough money to make those big purchases. But I mean, like I said, I'm a car guy, but I learn and listen because I make a couple mistakes, and that's how you learn, by making mistakes. But I
Sure.
mean, right now, there's no need. I'm an empty nest. I don't need big cars. I just need something that is reliable, and it's good for me to do what I do. But I mean, that's just my advice. Just put yourself in a position for the next opportunity. And if you can, opportunity, you are in a position where you can purchase an asset, like Lisha said, then hey, you're in a good position. Then you bringing money to your house. It's not a liability where it's taking money out of your pocket. But I mean, my advice for the listeners: put yourself in a position where you can take advantage of this great opportunity, the lowest interest rate in history, and and find something that you can create money for you. But I mean, totally, I disagree. My advice is just put yourself in a position. If you going to buy or make a big purchase, the best way is put yourself in a position. If you're not in a position to do it, don't do it.
All right, one more final quick question to you, Marvin. I want to know, is a 401k, far as for retirement, the best option far as retirement planning right now? I mean, a lot of us are looking to, I mean, sometimes we have to borrow from the 401k, have to dip into it for different things, and there's all kind of different things that are necessary right now. I mean, a lot of us are hearing that, you know, things like Social Security won't even be available to some of the younger ones of us in just a few years. So we're wondering, like, how valuable is things like 401k for those of us in the working
Okay.
field?
Well, I mean, if your employer is giving you an opportunity and a defined plan where they match uh, the money that you're, or the percentage that you're contribute to the 401k, take it. It's free money. They're giving it to you, and it's tax deferral. Take it. And if they match it, let's say for example, most of the companies match 6%. I always advise people, and if you don't want to take it from me, search for Dave Ramsey, Susie Orman on YouTube, and they said, if you can pay yourself first, and if you can afford 10% of your income, or top 15% of your income, do it. They match it. They match their six. They match six, and the difference you can find. You can go into an IRA, independent. an independent retirement account, and you could get higher than the average. The SP 500 since 1937 has averaged 10% rate of return on your investment. So if the company gives you 6 and you're willing to pay yourself 10, invest the other 4% in an IRA or in a Roth IRA. Simple, and you can earn 10%. You go to the bank and you have your savings at your checking, and they're giving you 0.5 rate of return on your money. Why not skip them and go to an independent retirement account and earn 10%? Simple as that. But I encourage that if they're giving you, if the company has a qualified defined plan like Roth IRA or a 401k, take it. It's free money.
I hear you. Final word on that, Kurt. I want to give that to you as well on that same question. With the retirement plan, maybe a little bit something about annuities and such. Is the 401k, would that be the best option that you would advise as well?
I mean, I think Marvin hit it right on the head. There's no other account available right now that if you have the opportunity for somebody else to match a percentage of your investment, you have to take advantage of that. There's certainly a lot of tools, a lot of products, and with the administration that's going on right now, the economy has been just booming. So any extra money, provided that you don't need it for a nest egg or for your bills, it just makes sense to put it in the market and let it ride for right now. In a 401k, if it's coming out of your paycheck and your employer's matching it, that's just a no-brainer in my mind. There's no one else that's going to pay you more than yourself plus your employer on top of the interest rates. And that's, again, whether it's an IRA, a group IRA, or a Roth IRA, or your traditional 401k or your 403b, take advantage of that as much as you can and start. But what a weird coincidence that I'm bringing up budget again. But start living below your means, just like we started off this talk with. Have a budget and get used to having a little bit less in your paycheck, because when you get to retirement, that's going to be so much more than what you gave up in the short term when it comes to paying for your long-term goals and your retirement goals. Don't shy away from that. If you can afford it right now, continue to contribute, continue to consider putting in more. And again, provided that your employer is helping out and matching, that's your best bet at this time.
Okay, well, we thank everybody for joining in. Once again, I want to thank Kurt. Kurt, can you tell the people again where they can find you? Social media and whatnot?
Yeah. Again, thank you guys so much for listening, and I appreciate the opportunity. My name is Kurt Rosemarinowski. I'm with a company called Midwest Insurance Group. We're an independent agency, which means I don't have one product. I don't have one carrier. I shop everybody to find you the best fit for your risk management needs. My cell phone, my direct contact is 262-409-1810. And you can always go to MidwestInsuranceGroup.com to find out more information and contact me through there as well. And again, thank you, and everybody stay safe and healthy.
Thank you for joining the program, Kurt. Also, we have Marvin. Marvin, can you also let the people know where they can find you on social media as well?
Okay, well, first of all, thank you everybody for for being here and share some wisdom. Sharp, iron sharp iron. Well, they can find me 414-839-9027. That's my direct phone number. And on Instagram, I'm just Pastillo_12. On Facebook, just Marvin Ortiz. And I'm located on 3555 South 27th Street, Unit 26B. I'm Milwaukee, South 27th Street, right next to Office Depot.
Okay, you guys check him out as well for your financial needs. And last but not least, the GL team, Licha and Gino. Can you also let the people know where they can find you guys and your social media handles?
For sure, for sure. You can just look us up on Facebook and Instagram at the GL Team. If you guys have any questions in regards to the home buying process, we are committed to re-elevating the home buying and home selling journey, and when it comes to real estate. So we're excited to be able to help with that as well. So you feel free to give us a call if there's any way that we can
thank
that
you,
we can help.
Alicia and Gino, for joining the program as well. We learned so much from you guys about the housing market as well. So hopefully you guys learned a little bit something about money. What I learned basically is you got to kind of reduce right now. Hold it down for, you can't floss like you used to. Got to hold a little something back. And it seems like you got to diversify your means. As a homie said from Wu-Tang Clan, there's diversify your funds, at this time. So where you may have had some money in this lane, you may have to now look in the second lane for some money or a different opportunity to come up in the same way. So, I thank all these smart people, much smarter than myself when it comes to money, to coming to join the program. I thank all you guys for listening, all the comments that you may have joined in and added. And we appreciate you listening. Until next time, y'all, I'm your homie, Mizzle to the Jizzle. You've been listening to Talk 22, Radio 22's Talk 22. Until next time, y'all, peace.